Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to warmly welcome you all here at the Lower Silesian Film Center in Wrocław, as well all of you watching us via online streaming channels. We are very happy to welcome you here for the presentation of our latest publication entitled Narratives of Closeness and Distance from Central Eastern Europe and Southeastern Africa, a multi-contextual patchwork. I'm very happy to have here with me my dear friends, Ula Markowska-Manista from the University of Warsaw.
Hello, good afternoon.
And Dr. Małgorzata Miśniakiewicz at Transparent Foundation.
Hello.
Hi. Together with us, we have also some guests, wonderful guests, both from Europe and from Africa, our dearest authors, Paulina, Suzyika, and Chisoko as well. And Samba is joining, and this is a wonderful news as well. You can, because at the very beginning I have mentioned that we are here for the launch of the latest publication we have, so the Narratives of Closeness and Distance. If you would like to have this publication, please do not hesitate to check the QR code you will see later on the screen. It's already on our website. You can read it and enjoy it. Exactly. Thank you. Because here we have also our wonderful team of interpreters. So I'm very happy and very grateful for our production and for our interpreters. As I said, thanks to them, we are also able to stay with you online. Talking about the e-publication, I will also mention that our new publication will be soon available not only in English, but also in French, because it is now under translation by the extraordinary activist, translator and author Hedwige Dro from Côte d'Ivoire. But also soon, by the end of the year, you will also be able to find it not only in Polish, but also in Hungarian, and this is excellent news, also in Kiswahili, and that makes us very, very proud. So only a few words now about the deconfining project, and then we will move to the conversation about our latest events. So the deconfining project its aim is to create and improve some international cultural relations between partners from Europe and from Africa. It gained financial support of Creative Europe program. Now we have a team of 22 cultural operators from both continents. And together we work for 4 years to somehow improve our activities and to build some new projects. This publication is actually a part of a set of different activities and is a result of collaboration of many people. And this is a place where I would like to express my gratitude to all the colleagues that were engaged, especially to our partners from Progressione from Hungary, but also my great my thoughts go to Lusaka, to Zambia, where our partners from Women's History Museum are located, and we have here Samba Yonga, who participated in the process of how we prepared the publication. Samba, are you with us?
Hi, yes, I'm with you. Congratulations.
I'm so happy to see you.
Yes. And hi to everybody. This is so exciting. It's an exciting day for us.
I'm so happy to have you here with us. Could you maybe say a word about how the process was on your end, and because we do not have Natasha here with us, so maybe you can say a word about the Women's Museum engagement in this very process.
Yes, it's a pity Natasha couldn't be here. She sends her apologies. She's had to attend to an emergency, but I obviously could not give enough credit to the work Natasha and Ursula did on this. I think for us as a Women's History Museum, the work that we've been doing in documenting African knowledge systems of women was an important part of the process of being a part of this project. And we're so grateful for it, because it's not important just for Zambia or for Africa, but it's important to share these knowledge systems across the globe, for providing a space of dialogue, a space of exchange. And through that process, we found that there are actually parallels and intersecting points and shared histories and experiences that could then be reimagined and renegotiated to create new spaces of understanding and interaction in our society. So for us, this is a big achievement, and I think going forward it could be an example of how other institutions could work in this way, not just narrating stories, but laying foundations of how work can be done in a collaborative and a way of equanimity. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Samba. Like always, it's a pleasure to work with you, and I would like to let you know that soon we will also, together with Samba and Women's History Museum, will prepare a set of podcasts about the publication that you will be able to listen by the end of 2024. Okay, so few more things that are very important. I would like also to express my gratitude to International Theatre Institute in Germany, where Thomas Malin and Alexander helps a lot in development of this very project. But also would like to thank Transmedia Design in Slovenia, Institute of Transmedia Design in Slovenia, Sara, Mateja, and Oleg. Thank you very, very much. But what is the most important, we would like to express our thanks to all the authors and all the editors of the particular pieces collected in this anthology. And our thanks go to all the institutions that financially and not only supported this publication, which is the European Union Creative Europe program, Ministry of Culture and National Heritage of Republic of Poland, and the members of the Bosch Alumni Network. Saying that, now I will give the floor to Ula and Gosia. Because I haven't said that at the very beginning, Urszula is not only a dear friend, but a researcher in a field of education and childhood in culturally diverse environments, conducting interdisciplinary field research in various contexts. For example, in Horn of Africa, Central and Eastern Europe, and South Caucasus. Her work draws on inclusive and participatory approaches, decolonial methodologies, inclusion, difficult knowledge, and sensitive topics. Małgosia, so Małgorzata Miśniakiewicz, art historian, curator, in her research on the socio-political contexts of contemporary art, focuses on the interlocal perspective. Gosia, who has been cooperating with Art Transparent for many years, is a member of the Deconfining Project team. Recently, together with a team of artists and curators from Central Europe, she took part in a residency program at the partner organization of our project, Nafasi Art Space in Dar es Salaam. So, ladies, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Karolina, for amazing introduction and for the floor for us. I would like to start with just questions because it's my role and goal. So we know that you went to Tanzania, right? And this was a journey or a trip with a goal concerning cooperation, right, in the art area, and focusing on implementation of a series of artistic residences. So we wish to know much more about this activity and especially participation and how such activities were connected with our publication.
Thank you, Karolina. Thank you, La. So the research trip to Tanzania that we took with the artists participating in the show in the project, it was divided into kind of two parts. So it was mine and Michał's, who's another curator in this project, was more connected to researching the local art scene and meeting people, and all these research curatorial residencies entail trying to understand how the art is produced and who's doing that and in what way, and we can talk about it a bit later. But also we traveled with the artists, with Lindy Dedek, Jan Moszumański and Michalina Musielak, who started to work on the project they will be developing over the next coming year. So the artists started, some of them already shot some material, to work on their individual video art projects that will take very different forms. And the residency was the first step of either gathering material or footage or contacts. Many of them already covered quite a lot and have quite a lot. Some are still developing, but this is the initial moment of this artistic production process.
I'm a field researcher, so it's something different like artistic residences, but maybe you can focus on challenges connected with such activities in a different context or diverse context, especially?
I think the biggest challenge came, at least for me, with and I think for the artists as well, for some of them at least, with a very different approach to time and timing and time management, because it seems that from what we found in Tanzania, the time works very paradoxically there. Things are happening very fast, and at the same time everyone says pole pole, which means slowly, and then everything's happening very fast, and then everything is somehow delayed and late. So one of the examples would be we went to the opening of a film festival that was put together in 3 months, so incredibly fast to do everything like that kind of event in 3 months, and then so they did that, and then they were late for their own opening. So there are these kind of paradoxes in terms of rigidity and flexibility of structures, the willingness and capacity to improvise. Actually, I think we have to learn much more, because I think came with much more tighter schedules and very rigid expectations of what should happen when, and then I think the approach by Tanzania that we've seen from Tanzanian art practitioners and culture practitioners is much more connected on, focused on like interplay and finding flexibility and finding different ways to make things work. So I think this was like the biggest challenge of this cooperation.
Yeah, and in our book we focused on many categories, especially closeness and distance. So all the stories we can analyze in the book focus on closeness and distance. What about your curatorial residency at Nafashi Art Space in Dar es Salaam? Do you see there such categories which you can just explain are very close to Polish context, or maybe something what show that we maybe think or just organize art in a different way as they do that?
I think there are many similarities that come from the approach of where the questions, where do we want to go, where are we coming from? Of course, the histories are very, very different, but there are these similar, I think, elements which pertain to the relationship to the artistic center and center of power and money. So there is this constant negotiation, like, do we want to be like the West, the American artists, whatever, the most successful, most visible ones, or do we kind of try to see how we can maneuver that power dynamic in a different way? So I think this is very similar. I think one of the differences is still very different infrastructures for art. In Dar es Salaam, there is like no fine arts academy, for instance. So Nafasi, our partner, is doing amazing work in doing a lot of academy and teaching programs for creators there. So I think in terms of also how artists negotiate and try to maneuver their own careers, it's very different because they don't have those kind of established patterns that come from large institutions, gallery systems, or academies. Which is the kind of framework we tend to think in, even if they change in different ways, as we know. But I think what was one of the most powerful things was the conviction of the artists there, that I had like absolutely no doubt that they are doing art and they're artists and they want to do art, and there was like no question of like formal education or things like that.
Małgorzata, thank you very much, because time is always a challenge. So we should move to the next part, and I will give the floor to Karolina.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies. Indeed, now we will move to the presentation of the publication. So I would like to introduce our audience with two beautiful and wonderful editors of the publication, which is Natasha Omokhodion-Kalulu Banda. She unfortunately may not be here with us today, as Samba already mentioned, but we are very lucky to have Urszula Markowska-Manista with us. And just to let you know, the list of fantastic authors we managed to gather in the publication. So in the alphabetical order: Paulina Brelińska-Garsztka, here with us on the screen; Shilika Chisoko; Chiteu Kasongo; Kamil Kawalec, here with us; Karolina Marcinkowska; Urszula Markowska-Manista; Mwaka Siluonde; Nyimbili Suzyika, here with us on the screen; and Klara Wojtkowska, here in the room with us. Hello, Klara. And as well as author and the moderator, me, myself. Please let me say also that we shall send our gratitude to all those people who were involved in this very difficult process of creation of this kind of publication. I would like to say hello and thank you to Jan Maloy, who did the proofreading, Karol Waniek, who did the translations, and special thanks go to Oleg Šuran, who was responsible for the graphic design. Oleg, as Sarah said, is above all Istrian, but of Croatian origins. Two of Oleg's projects, Speculative Edu and Disco School, received special recognition by the Croatian Design Association and were exhibited worldwide. He's assistant professor at the Visual Communication Design Department at the Arts Academy in Split. So now it's time to say a few words about the text of our publication. We begin the publication with the interview Kamil had with me, actually, on the cooperation in the field of contemporary art between institutions of the European Union and Africa. So now I would like to ask the question to actually Kamil. Kamil, and now after this long process of publication, creation, can you tell us something about now your personal perspective? What seems to you the most interesting element of our conversation, and what connections between our region and East Africa particularly caught your attention?
Okay. Po angielsku czy po polsku? Może...
Up to you.
Okej, to zostanę może przy polskim. Tak będzie mi troszeczkę łatwiej wyrazić to, co mam na myśli i co zawarliśmy z Karoliną w rozmowie. No, rozmawialiśmy tak, o różnego rodzaju stereotypach europejsko-afrykańskim, o tym, gdzie jesteśmy w tym momencie.
So I'll speak in English because it will be easier for me to...
Tak, w którym jesteśmy teraz momencie w historii, jak to się wszystko zmienia. Bardzo ciekawym punktem jest właśnie spojrzenie na relacje obu kultur przez podróżniczki, przez kobiety podróżniczki, które jakby swoją obecnością i pobytem właśnie w różnych krajach Afryki przyjeżdżały do Polski, wracały tutaj właśnie z bagażem doświadczeń, z historiami, które później przekazywały dalej i jakby pokazywały nam trochę inne oblicze Afryki, czy każdej z poszczególnych kultur, niż to, z którym byliśmy karmieni na przykład przez mass media, przez telewizję i tak dalej. To przykładem jest na przykład Pożegnanie z Afryką, Karen Blixen, bardzo znany film, bardzo znana książka, która jest mocno wyeksploatowana już jakby w tym punkcie takim, w takim punkcie stereotypowego myślenia właśnie o kontynencie, a Karolina zestawiła to między innymi z polskimi autorkami, Ewą Szumańską, czy z pamiętnikami, które jeszcze nie były wydane, Anny Szpakowskiej-Kujawskiej, artystki z grupy wrocławskiej, która też właśnie bardzo dużo podróżowała właśnie po Afryce i dużo przyniosła nowego.
So now we switch back into English. So the second text of the publication is Shilika Chisoko undergoing the knots of place and space. In her text, Chisoko ushers contemporary Zambian fiction into academia, framed by mid-century post-colonial European theory for discourse. Her work reminds us that the post-colonial context demonstrates repetitive patterns regardless of geographical location. Hello, do we have Shilika with us?
Yeah, hear me?
Yes, hello. Hi, Shilika. So great to have you with us. Can you tell us why you decided to submit your text to the publication like ours? What was the process? How did you learn about the open call?
So I found the open call from a post on the Zambia Women's Museum Instagram page, and my research for my master's thesis, I was primarily looking at contemporary Zambian fiction and thinking about it as a cultural study rather than a literary, or rather a singular literary analysis. So the open call provided me with an opportunity to situate contemporary Zambian fiction within academic discourse, or rather like put it in conversation with previously established academic texts, because Zambian literature, for one thing, has largely been excluded from academic discourse, and especially women's literature. So this was an opportunity for me to really just show how women's literature Zambian women's literature can be seen in conversation with some of these already established theoretical texts and stuff. So that was my reasoning.
Thank you very much, and thank you that you are with us. Now we will move to the third text of the publication. It's by Chiteu Kasongo, Threads of Unity. In this part of the anthology, Chiteu Kasongo waves a poetic exploration of closeness and distance entitled Threads of Unity. The author describes his poetic expression as developing a deeper understanding of the connections and gaps that shape experiences, thoughts, and narratives in the realm of closeness and distance. Unfortunately, Chiteu is not today with us, but if you would like to know a bit more about what he's busy with, please visit the Easy Zambia initiative online, so that you will see how amazing things this group and Chiteu is doing. The fourth text of the publication is Karolina Marcinkowska's Towards a Body-Conscious Knowledge. In this text, Karolina addresses several issues related to the challenges of conducting research as a female researcher in a foreign socio-cultural reality. Karolina is now busy with other duties, but this text is very worth reading and checking, as Karolina is an anthropologist busy with research mainly in sub-Saharan Africa and cross-cultural and in cross-cultural education. She both works for ethnological museums, but also a Center for Contemporary Art in Warsaw, Museum of Modern Art in Warsaw, and she is involved in humanitarian and educational projects, less recently in Rwanda, Ghana, Kenya, and Madagascar. The fifth text, Spiritually Yoked, by Mwaka Siluonde. Here we follow the story of Sister Mulenga, a nun on a journey who takes us through her deepest memories during the 1970s against the backdrop of a historical event at the Roan mine accident of Zambia. Mwaka planned to be here today with us. Unfortunately, the internet didn't work the way it was expected. So unfortunately, there are still thousands of people, millions of people excluded from this source of connection. So we just will say that I would like to introduce Mwaka by reading his short bio. But Mwaka holds a PhD in English from University of the Free State in South Africa. She holds a Bachelor of Arts with Education and a Master's of Arts in Literature. As a researcher, lecturer, and creative writer, her interests revolve around Zambia and African post-coloniality in literature, culture, and the arts. She is particularly interested in conversation on decolonization, cultural identity, women, orality, transnationality, migration, and dialogue between the past and the present. She is passionate about reimagining archival indigenous narratives and historical narratives to create stories that she believes are crucial to fostering cultural identity and unity. Nyimbili Suzyika, the place of theater as a medium of memory. Suzyika, are you here? Nyimbili, are you here with us? So good to have you here. In his chapter, Suzyika identifies theater as an important tool for interpreting and exploring memories. Based on an analysis of 2 plays from Hungary and Zambia, the author shares his experience and understanding of proximity through the lens of theater. Can you briefly tell us the story behind your text?
All right, thank you. So back here in Zambia, I am a theater maker, and I've been in the theater space for a bit of some time. So when I moved to Hungary in 2019 to study at Central European University, I was kind of interested to immerse myself in the theatrical space there. And at one time, I was invited to see a play at one of the theater spaces in Budapest. And then the play that we saw there, or rather experienced, was Ghetto Sheriff, which we experienced in total darkness. And when I was done with that play, I thought about my own play that I had written back home in Zambia called The Lenshina, The Bloody Truth. And I thought about how both plays speak to, questioning or remembering. In my case, my play was much more about questioning collective memory. While Ghetto Sheriff was really just bringing out the discussion of the Holocaust from different angles, using even things like humor. So when I thought about the 2 plays, I realized that indeed we could use theater to try and look back and remember, and be able to experience the past in that sense. And I continue to believe that theater is an important tool that we can use, especially in my paper. I argue that it uses both aspects of prose and theater and combines them, and is able to get to audiences and speak to audiences in a quite peculiar a manner. So basically, that's the background to the article. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And now the last, no, it's not the last, it's the 7th text. Klara Wojtkowska. Klara is here with us. How I Learned to Pray. Universal and intimate at once, Wojtkowska's work is a stunning patchwork of memory, which allows it to flow like a song. She explores complex contemporary themes such as immigration, spirituality, and belonging with warmth and depth. Klara, we are very happy to have you here today. And actually, the first thing that came to my mind when I read your text is it really a fictionary diary? Where did this idea come from, and what does it involve?
Yes, thank you. Well, I'm very happy that I could be here today. I actually just flew in from Zimbabwe a few days ago. I generally stay in Warszawa. And so it's just amazing that I happened to be here. It's a good question, because I'm going to preface it by saying that I'm currently working on my PhD through the University of South Africa, incorporating spiritual methodology. So I am learning how to, I guess you could say, speak the truth and just say it as the truth. But at the point where I was when I was writing this, I find that my experiences, because my calling to Zimbabwe was spiritual, many people do not believe it, because they think spirituality is something that you have to believe or not believe, whereas in African cultures, it's as material reality as this table, as this glass. It's just part of the, So when I thought about writing about some of the things that I experienced, I suppose, I'm going to be honest, it is a form of self-protection, isn't it? Yeah.
Amazing.
So thank you.
Thank you very much for sending your text, and we are very happy to have you with us.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. And the last text is Urszula Markowska-Manista, Paulina Brelińska-Garsztka, Karolina Bieniek, entitled Art as an Encounter. We have Paulina here with us, and a very short introduction to the text is: the final text concludes the volume by identifying the value of scholarly and artistic endeavors and the crucial role of women's agency in the process of production and reproduction of socially useful knowledge. Paulina, you're here with us. Great. Hello. Where did the idea to collect the knowledge and experiences of 7 women from our regions come from?
Actually, it's a very interesting story, and I think that mentioning the process of creating the text is actually very important because it all started in Wrocław last year during survival. I had a chance to meet dear Samba, I had a chance to meet dear Natasha, also Fifi and Lilian from Nafasi Art Space, and take them to the tour through Wrocław. We had a lot of inspiring talks. And actually, this was also, like, from my perspective, the beginning of the text which we all together created. And in the text, we can find actually the perspectives of culture, art, and the point of views of their artists and their creators. And the second thing that I would like to mention is this collective approach of collective writing. I think that this is actually the potential of making something. And this is a great thing that the confining as a publication and the confining as a process is actually a collective big thing to do. A lot of perspectives, a lot of people can mention their perspectives, and this is something really, really, really inspiring, and I'm very happy that I had a chance to be part of this process. I had a chance to be also a part of the text we collaborated and created all together with you and with Urszula.
Thank you very much, Paulina. Thank you very much to everyone who joined us on this very amazing trip that lasted for 18 months. It's like a baby elephant or or something. Anyway, it was a beautiful trip. We managed to bring to life an amazing book that I believe explains a bit more about the realities and cultures of two interesting, not that obvious regions of the world. And this is actually the moment where we could start the conversation, or if there are any questions, both online or here, we would be very happy to answer, or just to try to find the answer.
So I have a question for Ula. I wanted to ask you, how was your experience editing that?
Easy and difficult question, because I edited many academic books, but to be honest, it's the first one, like a child, a new experience with editing something what was not academic but very unique. And I need to add also very sensitive, because every text, every narration was connected with something which Klara already mentioned, protection. When I started to read first abstracts and then analyze the final versions of the successful articles, chapters, I was in connection with the authors, the souls, and also with very, very sensitive sentences. So this is the reason why we decided to put at the beginning of every chapter one short sentence as a metaphor. And let me just focus on one very unique, like a sentence in every chapter, but this one was like deeply connected with editing process, a spirit of storytelling and metaphor, and the importance of language. Because process of editing is not only editing, this is also sharing common thoughts and trying to understand the deepness of every sentence. So thanks for that.
We are grateful as well. We are aware that it was not an easy journey. It was not an easy task, but that's why we are even more than grateful that you decided to be with us, together with the authors, together with Natasha. It was an amazing trip. Do we have some other questions? Maybe online, is there something? Maybe Samba or our guests online, do you have any comments? Because we are slowly moving to the end of our meeting. Okay. If no, then thank you very much. It was a lovely meeting. I would like once again to encourage you to go to our website, to check the QR code that will soon be on your screens, and to check the publication, because it's a very unique piece, and I believe everyone who is somehow interested in Euro-African relations will find something important for him or herself. So thank you very much. We are wishing you a wonderful afternoon, and please stay connected. We will release more information on our activities soon on the Art Transparent websites and social channels. Bye-bye.
Thank you, and enjoy our publication.
Thank you.